to be an exception. I have a young man in the studio, and okay, let's start from here. I was supposed to be on the same location with him, I think around August last year, for a movie in Ondo State, Akudaya. Wow, I was supposed to be his best man in that movie. Yeah, my friend and my very good brother, Olumide Akimola, Archbishop, was actually the one in charge of that production. So I was supposed to be part of that, but I couldn't get off work. And then, of course, we had to be on this side to make sure that everything is going on very well. And this is a young man that I've, followed right from his days in the MTV-based Sugar. Before we got to that big platform, I'm talking about the Johnsons now, where he starred the young boy, the fresh boy, the active boy, the tailor, the schemer. It's just about so many things. So with me in the studio today, I have the Labour Party House of Assembly candidate for Surulere Constituency 1 in Lagos State. In fact, Surulere Constituency 1 is my constituency. So this whole conversation is really personal to me. Before we bring him on, I'm going to play something from him. It was an audio he dropped just to sell his agenda, his message to the people of Lagos. Once again, my name is Opeyemi Akinyode. You're welcome to the Situation Room.
My name is Olumide Oworu, and the meaning of my name is my heir has come. I am the Labour Party candidate for the Lagos State House of Assembly, Surulere Constituency 1. The reason why I'm running for office is because I feel like Surulere deserves a leader that is accessible, a leader that really wants to represent and stand for the people in the House of Assembly. I also feel like the youth need to be a part of the government system because the policies that are being put in place today directly affect our future tomorrow. I want to be a part of my future, and I urge you to join me as we take a part of our future together. Please come out on the 11th of March and exercise your civic right to vote. You determine the leader that you want. You determine to have somebody that you trust and you believe in as your leader. I am here presenting myself as a servant leader whose job is to bring good leadership to the people of Surulere, to represent Surulere in a way that Surulere deserves to be represented, to bring growth and development across multiple areas to the good people of Surulere, ranging from education to human capital development, environmental development, and many more. With your help, I promise to be as accessible as possible to make sure that we are on the same page in taking Surulere from where it is to where it needs to be. Once again, I am Olumide Oworu, the Labour Party candidate for the Lagos State House of Assembly, Surulere Constituency 1. I urge you to vote for me as I promise to change the narrative of what it means to be a leader in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sure you already know who I'm going to be speaking with this evening, but in case you want to watch this conversation live, you can log in on our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Mainland 98.3, we're streaming live. So from every part of the world, you want to watch what we're doing in the studio right now, just hop in and let's have a good time on the show today. So let's get straight up into. I love having conversation with young people. I don't interview them. I absolutely engage them. So we keep it going.
Of course.
Now, I've followed, the progress you've made from the days of Sugar down to the bigger one, the Johnsons, where you always play Tari.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my favorite. I saw that stuff that you've done from Far Away From Home. And of course, the about to be released project of my friend Akudaya that I was supposed to be a part of anyways. That had been what a lot of people have known you for. Now, in Surulere Constituency 1, which is my constituency, it's probably going to be about the battle of the Nollywood stars on Saturday.
Right.
You're running against a third-term seeking House of Assembly member in Honorable Lushola Desmond Elliott, who is also a veteran in Nollywood movie industry. Olumide, how did you make this switch? I've listened to what you said. I've played the audio for the people of Lagos, but they want to hear from you.
I've always been somebody who's been very passionate about anything that relates to youth. Youth participation in government, youth inclusion has always been something top of my agenda. Personally, I used to play around with the idea of entering into politics a lot later in my say late 30s or 40s. My friends and I would joke around and say we would join a party around 35, then maybe we'll start attending meetings. Then from 40, maybe we'll run for office and things like that. But the events in the last couple of months or years, last 2-3 years, really just changed the way I started to view myself and my role in society. And I realized that tomorrow isn't promised, and there's no need making plans for tomorrow when I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. But I have an idea of what's happening today, and whatever decisions I make, if I'm around tomorrow, will affect how my tomorrow is. So we are in a very pivotal time. I mean, the switch of His Excellency Peter Obi to the Labour Party really just opened the doors and really just changed the perception. It really just galvanized Nigerian youth to step up and be counted. And that really is when I decided to be a part of that story and be a part of history. Because I dare say the Labour Party is creating history, and young people as well are creating history. And I do also know of my influence as a young person, and I know that me running for this position, beyond just wanting to give back to society and make a change, will also help to inspire other young people to know that, first of all, it is possible to do this, and inspire them to just dream and work towards being in these positions of power. Also, we need to just start learning how this thing works if we want to take over one day.
I think that's exactly the line I'm looking for. We're talking about taking over one day. I've always been of the opinion that young people shouldn't just stay at the edge of things anymore. You need to get into it. If you're making plans for the future, I mean, there were times in this country where youth leaders of political parties are 67, 69. So if you're making plans for the future, you're not even certain if you're going to be a part of that future. So why don't you allow the young people that owns the future to make those plans for themselves?
Exactly.
Okay, now we'll come back to all of that. This is a different kind of feeling for you. I've seen your engagements across board. What has been the reception like? I know a lot of people obviously know your face, probably because of your screen engagement and all of that, but this is politics. This is I don't want to say more serious business, but this is about wanting the people to trust you with their mandate.
Of course.
So what has been the reception like for you?
The reception has actually been very positive, very encouraging. A lot of people believe in me as a person. My track record speaks for itself in terms of my character. Integrity has always been something that I've taken very serious. I take my word very serious as a person as well. A few people are, a bit shocked, especially because I announced my candidacy, relatively close to the presidential elections. But at the end of the
maybe
day,
you should include me into those few people. Yeah.
And which is very understandable. But at the end of the day, the majority of the support has been immense. But really, what I'm trying to do here is not even let it be a matter of me versus anybody, but having people understand what the youth are trying to do and really buy into that dream. That is the biggest thing for me. It's really about what we can achieve as a collective in terms of changing the narrative of what it is to be a young Nigerian.
Okay. Talking about your announcements, I'm sure you must have had some consultations, speaking to people even before you eventually came through with your decision to run for this political office.
Of course.
What have been the most challenging PDP candidates? I've had the Action Alliance candidates. I've had all of them walk through the studio here for me. So when you start speaking to the people, especially you're a young person, and I'm sure a lot of people will feel like, oh, well, you are still young in the game, go and key, or maybe you go for councillorship and all of that. What was the most challenging response?
The most challenging response is you're not ready. You're not ready. You don't have experience. You don't have money. So since this one out, you're a small boy. That really was has been the biggest challenge in terms of feedback. Yeah.
So let me now ask you, are you really ready for this responsibility? Now, you said this is not about you. We've got candidates across board. In fact, the governorship election, the presidential election had given a lot of, in quote, the unpopular parties, the opinion that we can actually get into the mix. Nothing is given in this election. So from your own perspective, what exactly do you want to do differently that you think me being a constituent in Surulere constituency 1 would be proud of?
I think the biggest thing for me is the perception of what it is to even be in government or to be a government official. I think that is what we need to first address. The biggest thing for me is to bring the government process back down to the people, because as a House of Assembly member, you are a representative of the people. So the people should have access to you. You should be working hand in hand with the people to bring about the change that they want to see. It's not necessarily about problem solving 100%. Yes, there are ideas that I have, initiatives that I know will be of benefit to the people. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to sit with the people to understand where the shoe really pinches. Understand what they really want. Understand what they really need. Understand the language, the template. Really understand and connect with them emotionally. And I feel like that is what you need to be doing as a leader, especially at the level of the grassroots. You need to understand the people that you're representing and really start to change perception in the environment and have positive role models for other young people in the environment. That really is the driving factor for me in this entire process.
Okay, the election is in 3 days' time, and less than 15 hours, Lagosians would go to the polls. Of course, Nigerians would go to the polls, and it means that would choose who governs us. We've done that for the presidency. We've picked who legislates on our behalf for the Senate and the House of Representatives. But I've always felt democracy is how close you are to the people. So I'm really particular in the House of Assembly election, contest. Now, in 3 days' time, you go into that situation. You've probably never been there before, or maybe, of course, maybe except you did campus politics and all of that. But it's a different ball game. You're dealing with the seen and unseen forces. That's what you get to meet in politics. One moment, there will be sycophants that will tell you to move on. We have your back. We're giving you 100% vote. And on election day, the story becomes different. Are you prepared for the worst and expecting the best?
Along certain lines, yes. But I'm very optimistic about this entire process. It's also been very eye-opening for me. I've learned so much in just this short period, of vying for this political position, that has even increased my wanting to really understand the system and be a part of the system. Because there's so many things that as young people we don't understand about the way the government system is set up. And if we want to make a change, we need to understand what exactly the system is made up of to know the best ways to go about carrying out that change. So we need more young people across board, at different levels, in different states of the country, because the dream or the end goal is to be a countrywide takeover. We need countrywide leaders, countrywide examples at different levels of government, and even outside of government, private sector, in whatever endeavor. But this is my own way of stepping up to the plate, and really just taking all of this in and absorbing as much of the information as I can. And as I said, I'm just staying very optimistic, and regardless of how the weekend goes, I am not looking back in terms of really getting me and my friends to be more politically active. We're going to hold leaders, whoever is there, me, whoever else is there, hold them accountable and really be a part of the process, understand the process, learn, because in the next few years we are going to be in these positions of power. That's just how life is, transition. So we can't wait until then to now start to be active and start to learn. We need to start from now, equipping ourselves, preparing ourselves, so when that mantle of leadership is ready to be passed on to us, we are 100% ready to take it on.
Well, I'm going to be very sincere at this point. I'm impressed. Let me just come through, because when I got the contact for your contest, I saw the flyer. Big shout out to Tommy for coming through for you. And I just felt like, okay, this is obviously, the face you get to see every now and then around those spaces in between, you see those characters and all of that. But it's a different ball game now. This is election. You're dealing with the young and the old people. You're dealing with the elite and not so elite. You're dealing with the learned and not so learned. And then you talked about a lot of young people now.
Yes.
You said you want your friends to take over a nationwide takeover. By the way, this election is probably going to have the set of the youngest representatives across board.
Yes.
I've spoken to a 24-year-old representative from Ogun State. I've spoken to a 26-year-old APC representative from Kwara State also. And it's going to be an amazing time.
Yeah.
Now, what are the challenges you think that Surulere Constituency 1 is currently facing at the moment? You get into the house, if Lagos and Surulere Constituency feel you're the representative they need, what would be your priority getting to the house?
Because I'm a young person, I understand the plight of young people. So I also understand that I have turned out how I have turned out because I have been a recipient of a good level of education and exposure. So how I view this situation is we need to start from the very beginning, which is catching them young, right? So it's not necessarily about, say, for example, opening more schools. Yeah, that's a good thing. But the schools that are already in existence, what is the quality of education that they're even getting in those schools? We say we're providing technical help. Yes, you could buy 1,000 laptops, but is anybody really checking to see that those laptops are actually being put to the use that they can be put to? Sometimes you also need to encourage people to expand and to dream. So there's a lot that we need to do in terms of the mentality of people in Surulere. The Nigerian system tends to put you in a box and keep your dreams small because of the environment. So we need to also have, for example, mentorship programs where young people can see people that have also come out from Surulere that are doing amazing things. So we also know it is possible. Another thing I think we need to also focus on is dialogue. I think a lot of the problems that we're facing in Nigeria now, whether it be along religious or ethnic differences, is because we don't sit down and talk. We don't try to understand each other's perspectives. And a lot of this has been handed down from the family unit, Daddy says, oh, this tribe, you cannot marry them. They are this one, they are stingy. This one, they don't do business with. Those are the narratives that we need to start changing. So as we are pushing for, better infrastructure, better security, better transportation, working on the taxations, the levies. If you're charging market women a particular amount of money, why are you charging them that much? Where are these monies going? Do they really need to be getting taxed as much? And if they are, make the government very transparent. Let people know what these monies are going to. And if you look at the structure of the Labour Party, in His Excellency Peter Obi and, by God's grace, the incoming governor, GRV, you will see that what the Labour Party is trying to do is really change the perception of what it means to be in positions of leadership. Have the people more aware and more a part of the system. Let them be part of the decision-making processes. So in Surulere, there's so much potential. The entertainment industry, for example, is one of the highest employers of labor. So you want to create human capital. There's guys that we need to get off the streets. I don't like to call them, thugs or area boys or agberos. I would like to say that they're victims of circumstance, because that could be anybody. I could have been born into a different family, into a different circumstance, and my life probably would have had a different turnout just because of the choices that I would have had to make, because I felt like I needed to survive. So in as much as we want to provide, infrastructure, roads, security, better water, all these things, part of the major thing that I really am pushing for is a change of the mentality. How people view themselves, how people value themselves, and how they see their role in society. Once people start to understand that they are a valuable part of society and see the importance of working together with other members of society, it will help to bring us together, and we will then be able to chase goals on a common level. And I think that is what we need to really foster the type of development that we want.
Very interesting. Well, in case you're just tuning in, I've been speaking with, maybe I should call him Tari. I'm sure a lot of people would understand him or know him better, with that name now. He's the Labour Party candidate for the State House of Assembly for Surulere Constituency 1. And it's been a very interesting, conversation in the studio here. His name is Honorable Abiodun Olumide Oworu. I hope I pronounced that well. Oworu. Yes. Okay, I tried.
You tried.
I tried.
A good 70%.
That's big enough. Now let's go back to the presidential election that we had just about 2 weeks ago, on the 25th of February specifically. It was an election that went against the bookies.
Right.
It was an election that changed the narrative. You made mention of, Peter Obi moving out of PDP. I think on the 8th of June last year, declared to run on the platform of the Labour Party. And that brought Labour Party from about 0 to 100.
Straight up.
Out of nowhere. In short, in 2019, the Labour Party's presidential candidate had 5,471 votes. And then Peter Obi returned with over 6 million votes. A lot has changed within that period.
Right.
Now, how much do you think the Labour movement, now when I mean Labour movement, I'm talking about the obedient movement, the Labour Party movement, how well do you think it has given young people like you an opportunity? Let me put it straight to you. Without having the platform of the Labour Party, would you have contested this election? now?
Probably not.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. The reason why I'm even contesting is because I believe in what the Labour Party represents. I see Peter Obi as a leader that is worth emulation. We've been saying go and verify until now. Nobody has come back to say anything contrary to the fact that he has an amazing track record, even before he was governor. Same thing for JRV. You look at his pedigree, his educational, background, his family background. He's coming from years and years and years of amazing individuals that have been serving Lagos in really high capacity. So if you're talking about, the credibility of the candidates that we have, I think we have the best of the best. And the fact that the party even believes in me at my age and my background to even be in this position also suggests that they are also believing in the need to have youth part of the government system and the need to create a new generation of forward-thinking individuals that are really thinking in lines with the time. This is 2023. As young people, we have better techniques, I would dare say, in terms of problem solving. We are more exposed, we are more in line with technological advances. So in as much as we might not have government experience, as they say, or no structure, we definitely do have opinions that in the larger scale will help to solve a lot of the problems that we have. So the fact that the Labour Party has an amazing leadership up top and is carrying youths from the bottom as well, so we really understand how the system works from the bottom up, is the exact reason why I'm running in this election under the Labour Party.
So what that means is that if the old Labour Party thing, the old obedient movement thing had not gotten this big, you probably would have still been, let's learn how these things work. Maybe by 2027, maybe by 2031.
Because not to sound the type of way, but before now, if we're keeping it 100%, Nigeria has practiced the two-party system.
Absolutely.
If we're keeping it 100. So even if you want to contest for any government position as a young person, once you're not in any of those two parties, your chances are
really
low, right? So this is the first time that there is a party with a clear shot at taking over, government positions across board, and they are willing to give young people a chance. Which is why I said I feel like this is a very historic moment in Nigeria. I feel like kids in 2050, 2060 will be referencing the happenings of 2020, 2021, 22, and 2023. So to just be a part of that, to really help to champion the cause of young people really stepping up and being a part of the government process moving forward, for me is an amazing honor. And I will do as much whatever I can do in my capacity to make sure that I do not let the young people of Nigeria down.
Okay, the phone lines are buzzing actually, and I understand why. But then let me quickly take this one. You made mention of individuals that have, history of their families getting into public service, holding political offices, being large in the society. Did you come from one of such families? Do you have members of your family that have held political office? Do you have, someone you can relatively say, okay, this is this person and this is on whose wings I'm flying?
In terms of any family members that have been in political office, no, not directly, but I've been exposed to conversations, even growing up with my father and his friends and my uncles, really just talking about politics. And I've been very lucky to come from a family that has at no point lost hope in Nigeria. So the narrative, even growing up, has never been negative, regardless of what was going on. It's always been it is possible. We just need to tweak things here.
I mean, you guys have to bring the whole "it is possible" up again. I understand where that's coming from. Go on.
And which also goes to show in terms of like how I have developed as a person. I mean, I started in my career when the entertainment sector was not as viable for young people. But my parents understood that this is something that in the long run would pay off. So when my mom was encouraging me, even times when I had to skip school in primary school, even when friends and family didn't understand, we stuck at that because we understood the end goal. And because of that, I can't say I've been in the entertainment industry for 23 years actively. Not that many people in my age
That's
can
a
say that.
long time.
Not many people can say that. So at the end of the day, I have progressed very differently from a lot of people in my age bracket just because of my outlook to life. I went to King's College Lagos, where we had people from all around the country in our school. I had friends who were from all parts of Nigeria. So even my outlook to what it means to be a Nigerian is very different. I think our difference is actually a strength if harnessed properly, because you have different perspectives, and different perspectives is what you need for problem solving. At the end of the day, if you're in a group session and you're having a brainstorming session, the more people with different opinions and perspectives, the better for you, because you get, different possibilities in terms of how to solve problems. So the fact that we're different is not an issue. In fact, it is the biggest strength that we have. Which other countries are as diverse as Nigeria in the entire world?
I can't think of
There
any.
isn't. So why does that have to be a problem? I think we should be trying to harness that. You look at, even for example, in sports, you have people who naturally live in riverine areas. Why don't we have representation in water competitions, swimming competitions, rowing competitions, things that not only help the country but also help to take people, job creation, sports, entertainment, technology, tech. There's so many opportunities in front of us that we need to start changing ideas. One of the reasons why Nigeria has been going around in circles is because we've been recycling leaders with the same ideas. And that's what we need to change. Get more ideas on the table and watch how things just flourish from there.
Okay, well, in case you're just tuning in and you've been wondering who I've been speaking with, well, you can actually go on our social media platforms, and on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, Mainland 98.3. That is exactly the same thing. You could search for that, and join my guest. Is Honorable Olumide Abiodun Oworu. I got it this time around. More than 70. More than 70.
85 now.
85. I'm good. I mean, it's quite a popular face within the Nigerian movie industry. If you followed, the Johnsons, let me just bring it as simple as that can be. It's a family-friendly program anyway, so I don't think it's censored. I mean, it's Tari, the one that does Taylor today, the one that does all of those things today, but he's moving out of that circle, and he's contesting to represent the good people of Surulere Constituency 1 in the Lagos State House of Assembly on Saturday. So you can go on our social media platform to stream us live. Okay, messages are coming in, calls are coming in. 0913-600-0410 for text messages. I'll take the number again. 0913-600-0410 for messages, for calls rather, and 0913-600-0430. Just replace the 1 with 3. Those are the places where I would pick your text messages. Keep it simple and straight to the point. I think we should pick more calls, some calls rather, then we'll get back into the conversation. Okay, hello, good evening. Hello. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Your name or where you calling from?
Kangbelina.
Oh, Kangbelina, you're welcome.
Sorry, I greet you seriously.
Thank you very much, sir.
I've been watching you from the beginning to the end.
Thank
But
you.
you are the favorite of my children.
Thank you very much.
I didn't know you are so eloquent and so intelligent.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, and I tell you, you are going to win.
Thank you very
But I
much.
have a question.
Yes, please.
I have a question for you.
Yes,
What are
please.
you people doing in respect to what the threats that we are seeing all over the place? People are carrying placards, go to your place, we don't want people here, and all kinds of things. What are you doing to allay those fears? Because we are not feeling safe. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I will just pick more calls.
Okay, yes,
Maybe
yes,
you could
yes.
take note of all of those questions,
problem,
then you
no
respond to
problem.
them.
All right.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. My name is Paul. I'm calling from VI.
Paul from VI, you're welcome.
Yes, please. Hi, Olumide. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I just want to tell you, well done. Thank you for representing the young people.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for taking this bold move to come out and, to stick your head out there. I think what I just want to do is a word of, I'm also a young person, I'm in my 30s, is a word of encouragement and advice that please do not let us down. Do not allow the system change who you are.
Right.
Remember that you are going to represent us as a people. You are not just representing yourself, and you are going to be the poster card. They'll say, "Oh, okay, yeah, we gave a young person the shot,
Of course.
and he messed it up."
Of course.
I trust that you are not going to look down on how corrupt power can be, because they say, power corrupts absolutely, and absolutely power corrupts absolutely.
Yes.
So please do not let us down. I trust that you are going to do really well. It's not a question of whether you are going to win. The young people will come out and galvanize for you in Surulere. But I just want you to deliver on the mandate and what is people's leader. Not just let's change the narrative of what politicians in Nigeria is.
Yes.
Let them see that I don't know if you speak now, and you are very intelligent. I'm like, yes, this is what we need. We need to harness the diversity that comes with being a Nigerian. But I guess the political class have somehow found way to use these things to our demise, and pitch us against each other. Meanwhile, this is a great tool that if we can harness it, we are going to be unstoppable.
Thank you.
Well done. Good luck.
Thank
God
you
is
so
going
much.
to be with you. God has
Amen.
got ahead of you.
Thank you.
It's nice meeting you. Yes.
Thank you very much. 09136000410. Please, you will need to take some chills with the call so that they don't jam into each other. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, mainland FM.
You're welcome. Your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Steve. I'm calling from Isoro.
Steve.
Hi, Honorable.
How are you? Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm just driving to pick my children from school, and I was listening to the radio while I was driving. There's something I enjoy so much about listening to you. Yeah, I'm a young person also. I'm also in my 30s. What I enjoy so much about listening to Labour Party each time you guys are speaking is that you tend to leave everything, aside from knowing you have the ability to work, you tend to leave everything. You say, oh, by God's grace, I'm going to do this. Now, these guys from the other side, I'm not going to call any party, they always say, I am going to win. I am going to win. And they're always talking like they want to fight, even when they are on radio. But listening to the solving problems you're talking about and how you want to give a sense of hope, to be honest with you, there are quite a lot of persons that listening to you and knowing they have the ability to do one or two things, listening to you will make them plan towards coming out to change the narrative in the future. I want to wish you well and pray that it works well for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Keep the calls coming in. 09136000410. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're live on radio. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is James calling from Ikeja.
James from Ikeja. Straight to the point.
Yes, I really want to say that I'm really impressed with your guest,
Thank you very much.
and I wish him the very best.
Thank you very much.
This is what we should be seeing in politics. Having people that you can have confidence in. Particularly somebody who is a youth. Coming to want to serve the people, who understand, what the youth, feel and the challenges they encounter every day. All I can say is that I wish you the very best.
Thank you very
One
much.
of the callers said something. I remember the last election. After the election and, when the result was announced, some Agueros came to our area and were demanding to know if we have Igbo people in our areas. And this thing has fear in people. So I'm only passing information. If we can get to the security, they should step up their game. They are intimidating people out there. They are putting fears in people. And I hope that this will not affect the turnout of the election come this Saturday. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me read some messages now. They will come back. Okay, the calls won't stop. But then let's try and. Okay, let me pick this one. Hello, good evening, Barrister Peter Oko.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is how you Opeyemi. This is Barrister Peter Oko.
You're welcome.
Yeah, God bless you. I want to say hello to the young man with you. It's Abiodun.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yes, God bless you for your ambition, because this is, there is always the right time for everything. The time cannot be more auspicious for vibrant young minds like you. If I had the opportunity and the kind of mindset you have now, I'm in my early 70s. I didn't have that opportunity, and we were thinking of, the lifestyle was different from then. At that time than it is now. If at your age, if I was thinking of politics, people would think I was mad at that time. But the time is right now. What I want to advise you
Yes, sir.
is that A lot of people think that one policy that the best thing is to start cutting corners and money. I think that is a very wrong concept. Perhaps when you get in there, don't let the allure of money to take first priority. I think the service should be your most important, because money will come when you expect it. But when you see the condition of people in this country, the less privileged people, still going through in this country because of some greed and avarice of setting of our kinsmen, it is hard. So I say you should go there. Don't join them in all this borrowing free. Like Lagos, as I'm talking to you, is owing about 1 trillion naira. And who is going to pay all those debts?
Thank you, Barrister Peter Oko. Thank you.
Yes, don't go borrowing. Do with what let the governor, whoever is elected, do with what we have now.
Just wrap up your thought. Thank you very much. Now,
sir.
loads of messages. This one says, my name is Sam from Agudo. I comment Terry well. A lot of people choose to call you that. And I like his courage. He spoke well, and I just pray when he gets there, he doesn't deviate from his ideology. I urge the youth and everyone to still come out on Saturday and vote for credibility. Good things don't come easy. Well, somebody wants you to be more on ground. I don't know what that means, but then I'm sure you got the message.
Course,
hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Your name and where you calling from?
I'm Engineer from myself.
You're welcome.
I just want to beg him now. I want to congratulate him that God will assist him.
Thank you, sir.
Now, what you are going to do, God willing, unite everybody together. Are you getting me now?
Yes, yes.
No tribalism. Unite everybody together and do the needful of what people are demanding of. I don't want to talk more than this.
Thank
very
you.
much, sir.
Because that's on me.
I'm sure the message is very clear. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, good evening. Okay. You would have to call us back. Okay, this one says we need Olu to be more visible on ground before the election. Yes, we love Peter Obi, but I think he needs to interact with his peeps more than the influence of Peter Obi and Labour Party. I've already asked him to allow me host him at the Suya Sport at Kirili anytime before Saturday. The crowd would love to see him. Well, you got the message clearly. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. My name is Obi from Surulere.
Your name is?
Obi from Surulere.
Obi from Surulere, okay.
Amazing. I've heard what that guy said, and then I think I'll be voting for him.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
voting for him, and I would love to see him around because most importantly, I'm a current Labour Party man. But most of us, I don't even know him. I don't watch TV. I don't know his story. I don't know anything. But then I will just be pushing you on our social media pages. But then you have to come to the ground to meet people, go to the nooks, walk around with your guys. Let us see you. Let people hail you on the street. And again, when you get in, do not forget there is a structure that the incumbent has built around those guys under the bridge.
Right.
In Master, under the bridge in Shita.
Right.
And some other places that you, because I believe these are the people under your constituents.
Yes.
Like you need to make sure you change the narrative. There is something you need to do around those guys to change a mindset, totally to change them from the people they have focused their attention on before that truly we can do better. So Shita, Masha, as Ojuelegba, I don't know if that's under your constituents.
It is.
It is.
Guys, yeah, those guys under the bridges, these are the people they use most importantly to stop the election. But then I want to let you know if you can do this. And Ijesha roundabout, you know that place, right?
Yes.
Those guys there, you need to meet them one-on-one. Let's show them credibility and love. And trust me, the other will be, little things.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you very much. We'll squeeze in more calls, just one or two, then we'll go back. We've got loads of messages there that we need to respond to as well. Hello, good evening. Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, good evening.
Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Peter is calling from Agbado.
Peter from Agbado.
Olumide is just talking and focused about the youth alone. So what about the old people in Nigeria? Yeah, so what about the elderly people in Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
So your focus is too much on youth. So youth alone, not in Nigeria.
I'll respond to that.
Okay.
The old people.
I'll
Okay,
respond to that,
thank you very much. Now I'm going to keep up the calls first. Let's talk. I'm sure you've listened to a lot of things, a lot of observations, but I want to also ask you. This is not you against the world. This is you against about 11, 9 or 10 other
Right.
candidates across
Right.
different political parties.
Right.
But then, whether you like it or not, there's the APC factor. He's a 2-term member. He's going for the 3rd term. You've been within the same space for a while. Like I said, it's a battle of 2 Nollywood superstars.
Right.
Do you have any relationship with Desmond Elliott?
Funny thing, my very first show, Everyday People,
Yeah.
we were both on that show. That was my first acting as well. I was 6 years old. And we were both on that show. I do have a cordial relationship, a work relationship. He's a senior colleague, and he's done amazing for the industry and in the industry, and for himself as well. And yeah, that basically is the level of our relationship.
I mean, that's straight. So maybe you want to respond to a couple of observations that the callers have
So
raised.
the very first one on security on the elections, that is priority for us, and we are making plans to ensure safety of all voters that will be coming out on the 11th of March. As I said, we are already making preparations. We are ready for the elections on Saturday. As they say, once bitten, twice shy. We believed in a fair process on the 25th, but otherwise was shown. So we have also put things in place to ensure the safety and the well-being of all the voters on the 11th of March.
Okay, more calls, more messages. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Okay, your name and where you calling from?
Hello.
Hello, you're live on radio. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Tom. I'm calling you from Maryland.
Okay, Paul from Maryland. Hello, Paul. Okay, it seems Paul is having difficulty with the network. I have more messages. This one says, my name is Femi from Festac. I like your guest. I wish I could go to Surulere to vote, but my PVC is registered at Festac. But I'll speak to all of my friends in Surulere, in Barracks. Okay, they would vote for him. Thank you. Okay, hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Faith. You're welcome.
My name is Amanda. I'm calling from Festa.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. So I like your guest, and I just want to tell him good luck. I wish him all the best.
Thank you very much.
So that is all.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that was straight to the point. 09136000410. I've been speaking with Mr. He's still Mr. until he wins the election. Mr. Oworu Olumide Abiodun is a superstar within the Nigerian movie industry, but we're not talking movies right now. We're talking about his ambition to contest for the Lagos State House of Assembly seat on the platform of the Labour Party this Saturday. That's the 11th of March 2023. And to represent the good people of Surulere State Constituency 1 in the Lagos State House of Assembly. And we've had this conversation back and forth, and I mean, it's just something inspiring, when you have young people that have chosen to just get into the mix. You're not just, comfortable sitting at the edge of the conversation. You want to be on the table to not just make decisions, but have plans about what is coming ahead. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you, Opeyemi.
Prince YS, you're welcome.
Oh, Gary. My dear in the studio, good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
May God bless you.
Amen. Thank you.
The way you talk, I really enjoyed you.
Thank you, sir.
And I love the way you put things.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you best of luck.
Thank you very much, sir.
And I want to see one or two things.
Yes, sir.
If you emerge as a candidate representing your constituency,
Yes, sir.
Are you going to the camp to a party that control the majority?
Yes, you're always asking the camping question. I remember when Baribo was here also, you asked the same question about the camping.
That is number one. Because if you are opposition, I'm telling you, you contribute beautifully to any matter. People will know you better, and you become your opposition leader in the house. But some people immediately they win the election, they will jump friends to the ruling party, which doesn't work that well for our democracy. That's what I will do. But my dear, I wish you best of luck, bro.
Thank you very much, Prince Wise. Now let me ask you. I won't be voting on Saturday, but I'm a constituent under you. I'm from Surulere. I was born at Kilo. I grew up in Nunobi. So, if you happen to want to convince me to trust you with my mandate, to give you my franchise, talk to me about that.
Okay, let me just quickly answer the two questions that we have pending before this one. So, if I'm not mistaken, the first observation was on.
You need to be on ground?
No, not the on ground one. I just skipped. Yeah, that my plans are only youth centered.
Okay.
That is not the entirety of the case. I am passionate about youth related matters because I am young, and there are a lot of issues and matters that we need to address relating to the youth, and also we need to nip a lot of things in the bud and catch them early. A lot of the reasons that we're having some issues is because we have allowed things linger and allow perceptions to grow over time. So we need to start immediately at catching the young people who are still susceptible to change, susceptible to influence, and try to change their mindsets and make them Nigerian citizens with a holistic view towards what it means to be Nigeria. That being said, there are plans to make sure that, as I said, everybody is going to be represented. I plan to be more on ground to the point that the constituents have access to me. The state system of government will be conversational. As I said, beyond problem solving ideas from myself, it is a community service. It is a coalition. We are going to sit down, map out lists of things that we need to do in Surulere. Okay, guys, see, this is how much we have. What are the problems? Okay, what should we address first? Let them really be a part of the process and, say what they want to see. Also, there are plans for, for the elderly in society. There are plans for, the physically challenged in society. There are plans to really just make sure that every single person in Surulere is catered for and is supported, whether it is through housing scheme, affordable housing schemes, through loans, through grants, helping to pay for exam fees, school fees, scholarships, setting up businesses, supplies. There's so many options.
Now let me cut you.
Yes.
Your principal responsibility in the house is to legislate.
Yes.
Is to make laws.
Yes.
Not necessarily to do balls or projects and all of that. So how do you want to put all of this together as regards putting up effective legislation for the executive to work on?
So now, again, sometimes the legislative process can linger a lot longer because there's so many processes it has to go through in the house. But while that is going on, there are certain things that we can do in our capacity as constituency projects to just ease some of the tensions in the immediate while we are pushing for bills that help the totality of the community. The thing for me is to be resolute and to stand firm on the things that I believe in and on the mandate of people in Surulere. If I am in the house as a representative of Surulere and the people of Surulere have said this is what we want, it is my job to be convincing. It is my job to make sure everybody in that house understands that these are the issues that my people are facing and these are the things that we need to sort it out. So we are going to stay here and drag this matter until I can take favorable news back to my people.
Now, quickly, democracy is about numbers.
Yes.
Legislation is about lobbying.
Yes.
It's about bending the rules.
Yes.
It's about putting your cards on the table. If you happen to emerge, and then you happen to be in the minority, are you going to the camp to get your things done for your constituents, or you are going to play the minority card?
I joined the Labour Party because I believe in the ideology and the identity of the Labour Party. As long as that is a constant, I will be in the Labour Party.
Interesting. Well, somebody is already volunteering to be your agent in any of your polling units in Surulere constituency. My very dear friend, Prince Fele. Let me pick calls before we call it today on the show. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
This is Monaco Kayode on the line.
You're welcome, Mr. Kayode.
Yeah, nice one. Speaking to Oworu
Thank you very much.
today. He said quite a number of things. Coincidentally, I'm also a Surulere boy. Has lived in Surulere all his life before moving out to Ojodu. Even last week, I still voted there. I think he still needs. He's talked a lot about the things he wants to do and all of that, but he's not talked about the process to get himself where he wants to be. And I understand why that is. But maybe as time goes by, he might be able to just throw a few lights into that. Time, right?
Yeah. absolutely. Because the calls just keep coming in and the messages are here. Okay, let me pick this one. St. Austin from Aguda Surulere said we shall vote Gbadebo Road survivor because of his oath using public funds for public good. Interesting. This one also said, my name is Opeyemi Akinyode. I'm texting from Barracks. Olumide is my very good friend. Okay. We went to the same school, which of the schools you didn't put it there. I would vote for him on Saturday, and I hope a lot of young people will do as well. Please put more posters outside. Okay, I mean, people are giving you heads up anyways. I will really press for time,
right?
And then even though I've gotten word that I could, spill in the couple of more minutes into the time, it looks like my producer is comfortable with what we're doing right there. So I will appreciate. Thank you, everyone. So let's get straight up into it again. It's a long process from here.
Yes.
You've moved after a couple of months that you announced your involvement in all of these things. Who is bankrolling you?
At the moment, a lot of it is self-funded.
You must be a very rich man.
I believe in I put my money where my mouth is, as they say.
But they give shishi.
I know they give shishi.
Okay.
I know they give shishi. But in terms of facilitating what it is, in terms of getting the message out there, the merchandise, the flyers, things like that, just so people know what we're doing. And at the end of the day, we need to create awareness, and not just for myself, but for the Labour Party in general. As much as I'm campaigning for myself, I'm campaigning for GRV as well, because what we're trying to do as Labour is establish structure so that the party ideologies can align. You have a Peter Obi at the top, you have a GRV, you have a me, and other members in the State House of Assembly.
If you say Peter Obi at the top,
yes.
This is a conversation I didn't want to get involved with.
Yes,
but maybe we should just take a little step backward. There was an election that was held just about 2 weeks ago, and then a candidate emerged, which is the president-elect, the former governor of Lagos State, the former national leader of the ruling APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A certificate of return has been issued to him. He's been open to receiving state briefings. I mean, he's literally carrying out sub-presidential responsibilities already. Goodwill messages are coming in from everywhere around the world. So if you say from Peter Obi top to bottom, what does that mean to you?
Personally, I'll speak for myself here.
Good.
There's a lot of uncertainty about the election results that were announced, and there will be a process to clarify that. If after that process, and if that process is transparent, if after that process the results are still same, then we will respect that. But at the end of the day, there has been a lot of evidence that shows that there are things that need to be cleared up about the presidential election. Some of those numbers are not adding up, and we just need to sort that out.
You already sounded like a politician. I went this way, you went the other way. Don't worry. Let me go back to the phone line. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay, Friday, you've been calling, and I really needed you to have joined us on this conversation. Okay, you're calling back. Hello, good evening, Friday.
Hello, good evening, Opeyemi.
Thank you for your consistency.
Thank you for. Hello?
Okay, can you change your location a little so that we can get you clearly?
Yes, I'm changing it.
Okay, I think it's better now.
Yeah. So now, the last subheading you are taking with him is what I wanted to tip in something at the national level. You understand? At the moment, things are not going well at the national level. And I was expecting you to bring him in at that point. And let's hear what he's going to say towards that.
He just responded to that.
Yes, from what I'm saying now, your ambitions
I wouldn't like election to hold next Saturday.
Oh.
You get it? Until what is on ground is sorted out. For faith to be good. You understand? Because that is where things are going now. If you read some certain things, articles on the media now, it looks as if election may not hold. But I don't know. I can't say.
Okay. I remember. Thank you. Anyways, I remember very well. Leading to the presidential election, the tension was really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to speak to the first PPRO from Abuja. I had to speak to the Lagos State PPRO, SP Ben Udenyi on phone, and they had to consistently give us that assurance that the country is going to be safe, Lagos is safe, Lagos is ready. And I still want to share that optimism that on Saturday, we're going to have a very successful governorship election in the states, where everybody's life will be safe, where everybody's vote would count, and most especially where the wish of the people would come to pass. Back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Okpa.
Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Nawata from Surulere.
I brought your person to the studio. You've always been asking me, when would I bring your representative? Now I brought one of your candidates.
Thank you, my brother. All my votes go for Lagos. Thank you, my brother. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
We hope you keep your promise.
Thank you so much.
And God willing, we shall be there.
Thank you
very much.
Okay, we're going to have to wrap it up on the show because we still have to flip the conversation the other way around. The election is coming, and we're going to have to focus on the swing states across the country.
Right.
So I'm going to have to speak to representatives across all of those states. But in your final word, in 3 days' time, Lagosians will go to the polls. Now, this is across your party, the Labour Party.
Yes.
In the presidential election, you had about 586,000. The state chairperson for Labour Party, Pastor Mrs. Dayopo, is my very good friend. We are at the collation center together, and you could feel the optimism around the people.
Yeah.
For the first time, Lagos State did not fall to the PDP. It fell to Labour Party. I mean, that was unexpected. Now we're going into the governorship election, which a lot of people have said is going to be a different ball game. Why should Lagosians vote for Labour Party? And why should the people of Surulere constituency want to vote for you?
Right. Lagosians should vote for the Labour Party at the governorship level because GRV has plans in line with the times. Plans that really is going to open up the Lagos State government books and run on transparency. Transparency is something that we have not had in Lagos State as a political structure for the longest time. A lot of people don't know what's going on. They say we generate XYZ amounts of money daily. Nobody knows where all those monies are going to. Certain people are collecting taxes or levies. We don't know where that money is going to. So once there is information will lead to engagement. Engagement will lead to participation. That is really what we need in Lagos State, and that is what GRV represents as governor. Why people should vote for me in Surulere is because I represent a demographic that has innovative ideas that will help to aid in the direction that we want to go, which is towards growth and development. We also need to start thinking of the future. I represent youth inclusion and youth participation. More youths are going to now want to be part of the system, and we want to start letting youths in on how this works. Trainings, mentorships, just people in and around, political discussions. So when we are a lot older, we would have grown and matured and be ready. It's one thing to take power. It's another thing to be ready for the responsibility that comes with that power. And that responsibility comes with preparation. You can't just wake up and go into any competition. You have to prepare, practice over and over until it's muscle memory and you perfect your craft. So that is what we are trying to do as Labour Party in Lagos. And that's why the good people of Lagos should vote for GRV as governor and vote for me as the Lagos State House of Assembly, Surulere constituency.
Okay, it's been a very interesting time. The calls are still coming in, but we need to go. It's been a very interesting time having you join us on the show today. Lagosians, on Saturday, we'll go to the polls again to make that decision on who governs us and who legislates on our behalf, especially at the state level, which is really key. Democracy is supposed to be a government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
All about the people.
It's supposed to be a grassroots engagement conversation. conversation. Well, very interesting. I must say, if you just joining us, you've missed. And I'm not going to lie to you, you've missed. I've been speaking with Honorable Oworu Olumide Abiodun. Is the Labour Party House of Assembly candidate for Surulere Constituency 1 in the Saturday's State House of Assembly election. Well, thank you very much once again for spending time to be with us on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time, and thank you for everybody that called and sent messages in. Thank you for all the love and support. And I promise to not let you down.
I wish you well.
Thank you.
I wish Mother Lord favors you, and most especially the voices of the people, whoever they choose to represent them, should matter. Thank you very much once again. Okay, we'll take a very quick break, and when we come back, I will flip the coin to the other side. And that means I would be speaking with representatives across 6 states in Nigeria. I would look at River State, we'll look at Lagos State, we'll look at Plateau State, we looked at Kano, and we look at Kaduna. Those are the states that would have some form of complications in their governorship election. You understand Plateau State for one reason. The APC presidential campaign committee chairperson came in from that state, but he lost his election. For Lagos State, the APC also lost the election. For Kaduna State, the APC lost all of the senatorial seats. So we'll look at all of these things and I will get back into it. Don't go nowhere. This is the Situation Room. It's a special edition. You understand why? We'll be back after this very quick break. I'll play you something from Timi Dakolo. This is almost like the next popular song in Nigeria after the national anthem, and he calls this one Great Nation.
We're determined to rebuild and restore. Where freedom reigns and truth prevails. Our land where there's hope for us all. Hope for us all.